civil society organization Action Society is calling for the removal of Western Cape Kannaland mayor and leader of the independent civic organization of South Africa, Jeffrey Donson, and his deputy, Werner Moshoa. Donson was convicted for raping a 15-year-old child in 2004. Initially sentenced to 5 years in prison, a successful appeal reduced his sentence to a suspended one, paving the way for him to be re-elected in 2008. For more on the story now, Action Society spokesperson Ian Cameron joins us live from Cape Town. We've also reached out to Mayor Jeffrey Donson, but we've not received a response from him just yet. Ian, let me thank you for your time this morning on the program. I mean, it sort of boggles the mind. Where do you even begin with this discussion? Because how does someone convicted on these charges make it to public office in the first place?
I think it's astounding. First of all, thank you very much. It's absolutely shocking that in a country with 116 rapes per day, and those are just the ones we know of, remember that only 1 in every 9 actually get reported, that someone like this makes it to office. And it's almost, how do I explain it? It almost feels arrogant that you can go that far with us facing the challenge. And then we're not even mentioning the fact that his deputy was convicted for fraud in a country where the majority of municipalities have been stolen empty because of corruption.
So, Ian, let's begin here because, I mean, just given what you've just said, it's very easy to let your emotions cloud a discussion like this, and perhaps rightfully so. Let's talk about the regulations around who is allowed to be in public office. Surely the issue around any conviction means that you are precluded from that.
Absolutely, but I think before we get to the IEC part, I think it's important to say that both ICOSA, which is the party that he is standing for, and then also they are now in that specific municipality supported by the ANC, should be checking these types of people before they can go into office. So it should be a policy agreement or a type of policy within the organization itself. That's the first, but I think secondly, there are regulations within the IEC that should be screening these types of individuals before they get into those types of positions. I think the challenging part of this one is that he has been re-elected. So this isn't a case of him being new to office. He has been re-elected, which further clouds the whole decision that someone like that could have made it into office, and that even after a whole 3 or 4 years of serving, he can still be re-elected despite the background that we know of.
But surely he can't. Surely he shouldn't be re-elected. How? I'm really finding it difficult to understand how this has been allowed to happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Imagine this, and this is, I'm going to say this with as little emotion as possible. Imagine this, that 15-year-old that was raped by him in 2004 now has to see that same person who raped him or her serve in public office in a crucial position for the further development and the further growth in an area like that, especially for the youth. What kind of hope does that give to people on ground level? So it simply cannot be allowed. The IEC should have stopped this. That's why Action Society is calling for him to be removed immediately, along with his deputy and also along with the speaker, because how on earth can the speaker from the ANC be supporting this?
By all accounts, I mean, we know about this. It's been in the news cycle. It's impossible that the people who, as you say, the speaker as well, would not have known that these issues exist.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to go as far as saying, and it might sound like a sweeping statement, but I want to challenge them to prove me otherwise, is that when I look at the photo of the 3 people, the speaker, the mayor, and the deputy mayor, congratulating each other, it literally looks like an arrogant gang of criminals. I don't understand how this can happen. So I really want to appeal not only to the IEC, but all the other governing bodies in place that can put a stop to something like this, to have him removed, have the deputy removed, and even have the speaker removed. This must be revised. We cannot put these types of people in office in a country facing the GBV issues that we are currently facing.
So as Action Society, what is your next step, or what are the steps that you are taking to ensure that this
So
happens?
so we've started consulting with our legal team. We actually started yesterday already, and we're in a process of just fine-combing all the different regulations, all the different legalities around this, so that we can really put forward an entire package of options that we want to take on. But we won't be leaving it there. I think it's crucial that we do take this further. It just absolutely makes no sense to have these people in office, and we must make a plan to have them removed. And it's also crucial that from our side we will continue campaigning regarding the GBV issue, and obviously this is going to form a major part of our further campaign, because this goes to show that up to now, many parts of government has just been giving us lip service, and we're not seeing results when they promise to be fighting gender-based violence in South Africa.
Ian Cameron, let me thank you for your time on this incredibly shocking story. He's Action Society's spokesperson. This story emerging just on Tuesday, the Kannaland Municipal Council re-electing a convicted rapist as its mayor and a convicted fraudster as his deputy, and that's with the support of the ANC. Please do note that we have reached out to the Mayor, Jeffrey Donson. We've yet to receive a response from him. Once we do, we hope to speak to him here on the channel.